Hello, it's me, the king of late night TV, David Bronstein, and this blog is called My Beautiful Wife, Andrea. Now, are we rolling? Yes. Now, where the hell are we? Have we been 9 minutes already? What? Am I doing this right? I don't know what the hell it means. Anyways, counting down. Anyway, is it counting down? Yes. So, My Beautiful Wife just got a job working for a friend of mine. A friend of mine owns a company, an internet company, where they sell advertising time. They'll get you on Google and Yahoo, and they'll get you on top of the list, whatever the hell goes on. And they let a lot of people go. And I ran into him a few weeks ago, and ran into with Andrea. And they said, Andrea, you got to come work here. This is an unbelievable opportunity. You can make $200,000 a year. I figured, oh, Andrea can make $200,000 a year. I can relax for 2 minutes. I said, Andrea, go help my friend. Get in there and then do what you got to do. Now, my wife used to work for another friend. My wife works for a lot of friends. Can't work for me, but works for a lot of friends that had an automotive company, and Andrea would call these companies selling automotive parts or whatever it was, and she'd bring about $50,000 a month in revenue, in sales to this guy. So Andrea figured, well, this company sells marketing or advertising on Yahoo and Google, put your company on top of the list, whatever it is, so she's going to get in touch with all her automotive friends and clients and people that she's kept in touch with to say, you should put your company on top of the list of Google and Yahoo, whatever it is. And my friend's company pays commissions of $5,000, $2,000, $10,000 whenever you sell a package or a deal, whatever it is. And if they buy the whole package all at once, you can make commissions of $5,000 and $10,000, however it works. But if the guy buys the package and says, I don't want to pay the whole thing at once, I just want to pay monthly, then they just give you the set, whatever. The one guy will say, look, I'll take the whole package for $1,000 or $1,200, and then I'll pay $100 a month. So if they don't take the whole package at once, they just give Andrea $100 for a flat rate. That's what it is. That's it. Okay, so Andrea was telling me, she's only been there a few days, and Andrea's telling me what she has to do. She has to make these calls and try to get this sale, whatever is going on. And she has all these hot leads and all that stuff. And I was trying to figure and calculate how many calls does she have to make before somebody will say, okay, I'll take this gig. And I was calculating, well, if she does 30 calls a day, or if she speaks to 30 people a day, and depending if it takes 2 weeks or 3 weeks, I figured out that Andrea's going to have to make 600 calls. Andrea's going to have to talk to 600 people before one closes. And that's just an average. And I would like to be very conservative. So I calculated she'll have to talk to 600 people, not calls, because call is, you can leave a message, the guy's not there. Actually speak to 600 people who make the decision before she'll get a sale. Now, she might make 10 calls and get a sale. She might make 100, but I figured out based on what she was telling me, it's 600. All right. So based on being most conservative, that I like to be most conservative in all my business affairs, and what I'm expecting to get and all that stuff, I calculated, and Andrea said to me that the lowest package somebody could buy is $1,000 or $1,200, whatever the hell it is. And if they just pay per month and not the whole package up front, then Andrea gets $100, and that's it, and that's the commission. That's all it is. But if they buy a bigger package, she can make $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, whatever the hell. That's all right. So I calculated. Well, let's see, Andrea, you just started on Friday, and you're making about 30 calls a day, and I said, well, figure that if after you make 600 calls and you get one sale, you'll make $100. That's what I figured out. Being the most conservative minimum amount of time, you'll make $100. And Andrea said, oh no, I'm not going to make $100. That could come in by calling real estate people and insurance people. I'm not calling those. I'm calling a much higher end of customer. I'm calling a different kind of client that spends a lot more money. This is a whole different thing. I'm in the automotive business, and I'm contacting automotive companies. They're loaded, and those packages are worth so much more money. I'll never make $100 in a sale. I said, why? I said, what's the minimum you can make with the automotive people? And Andrea says, $200. Now, how am I supposed to respond to that? When I've said the most conservative way, based on what she said, that the guy could take $1,000 for the year, $1,200, and pay per month $100, Andrea gets $100, that's it. And then she says, no, I'm in a much different bracket than that. I'm much bigger than that. I get much more than that. I figured, much more. What could she possibly get? $500, $1,000, whatever else? $200. It's like talking to Gracie Allen. I'm George Burns, and my wife's Gracie Allen. I had nothing to say. Then we go to the supermarket to get hamburger rolls. That's all I do. That's all I do all day. I get hot dog rolls, hamburger rolls. I'm very, very busy. And there was a big snowstorm yesterday, and people are walking, a gigantic snowstorm actually, and people are walking around without coats on. It's like the Twilight Zone here. I don't understand what the hell's going on. And we go to the supermarket. Andrea gets Tide detergent and oranges and bananas and Perrier, whatever the hell she had to buy at the store. Cost me $100 at the supermarket yesterday. And while we're there, she's going to make hamburgers or sloppy joes or tacos, whatever the hell she makes. And she went to get hoagies. She went to get hoagies. We're having hoagies last night. Hoagies are subs, if you know what that is. I'm from Philadelphia. And she got the roast beef and corned beef and turkey, whatever, to make hoagies at home. And she is standing in line at the cashier. She has a package of these long Italian rolls for hoagies, whatever it is. And I said, where'd you get those rolls from? And she said, I got it at the bakery there. And I said, but they're in a package. Why don't you get the separate rolls? She said, well, because that's all I could find. You go see if you can find rolls. This is all I could find. So I took the package of rolls, and I said, and I started feeling them. I said, these rolls don't feel fresh. They're soft. They're hard, and I'm pressing down on the rolls, and the package sticks in the package. I said, they don't feel fresh. She said, what do you mean they're fresh? I said, no, they don't feel fresh. So what does my wife do? She takes the package of the rolls. She gives it to the clerk, to the cashier, that's ringing up the food, and says, here, are these fresh? How would the girl that stands there all day pushing in numbers, taking people's Drano and bananas and grapes and milk and ice cream and cookies, and how would she know whether this ruddy rolls are fresh? She didn't bake the rolls. She doesn't walk in the back there. She doesn't even know when the hell they were baked. She's standing there all day taking money from people for candy and magazines and Cosmopolitan, whatever the hell people are, Vanity Fair, whatever the hell they're buying. What does she know? She knows as much the rolls are fresh as much as I do, and as much as the guy. Why didn't she ask the guy bringing the carts in from outside? The guy that takes all the shopping carts. Why didn't she go over there and say, "Hey, feel these? Are these fresh?" Why did she ask him? What is the girl doing taking the money whether the rolls are fresh? So what do you think the girl said? Sure, they're fresh. What is she going to say? She wants us to get the hell out of there already. So of course I didn't buy the rolls. I said, give me the rolls. I went back there and I got different rolls. And I got. Is the girl coming over for dinner? Is that what she? Well, how would? I just bought the rolls myself. What?
Larry would go there. Are these rolls fresh? Yeah, they're very fresh. Taste one. No.
So we leave the supermarket, and we come home and I have the hoagies with turkey. But I bought the rolls this time. And there's a joke about rolls. I'm not going to tell you right now, but I want to tell you about it. What happened this morning about getting a newspaper. We had a big snowstorm last night. So I go to the drugstore to get a newspaper. I said, what happened to the newspaper? It's a Toronto Star. I'd like to get a Toronto Star. And the girl at the drugstore says, oh, they're in the back. We didn't take them up yet. Would you like a newspaper? I said, yes. She said, all right, I'm going to charge you now. And then I'll tell the guy to bring them up here. Just be a minute. I said, okay. So she charges me for the newspaper. Then she gets on the phone and she says, hey, Joe, the newspaper's in the back. Can you bring the newspapers up front here? And then I wait. And I'm standing around and I'm waiting. And I'm looking at other magazines. I'm waiting for the news. Nobody's coming up. So I go over to the clerk. I said, where are they in the back there? She said, oh, they're in the back. We couldn't get them out front, but he's going to bring them. It's going to be a few more minutes. Well, I had enough of waiting. I'm Jewish. Jews don't wait. I said, I'll just go in the back and look for the newspapers. She said, oh, no, we have a policy. You have to wait here. This store I go to has so many policies. I never... They have more policies than my insurance company. That's how many policies they... I said, oh, I'll go in the back and look for the newspapers. So I go in the back looking for the... I don't see any newspapers. Not only do I not see any newspapers, I don't even see anybody looking for the newspapers. I don't see anybody, pile of papers and you cut it open. Some guys say, oh, here's the... There's nobody even looking for the newspapers. There's nothing in... There's not even a back. What? So I'm waiting for it. So I come back up front. I said, listen, there's nobody getting the newspapers. I can't see the newspapers. She said, oh, yeah, he's getting the newspapers. A few more minutes. I said, by the time he gets me the newspaper, it'll be tomorrow's news. I want today's news already. I said, can I just get my money back for the newspaper? She said, oh, you have to fill out a whole form. I'll have to call the manager. I said, well, I got to get out of here. My kids want bagels. I got to get bagels. So she said, oh, but if you get the newspaper in the box, there's going to be more money. Did you ever hear that before? Why is it more money if I buy a newspaper in the box than it is if I buy it in the store? I never heard of that before. And how much more money is it going to be? If the newspaper is $1, how much more is it going to be in the box? $10, $20? And by that time, I pay $100 for a newspaper. I want to know what's going on in the world. I heard that Warner Brothers just came out with talkies. Is that true? Anyways, I said, I'd like to get my money back. So I had to fill out a form to get $1 back. I had to fill this out, write the reason you don't want it. She had to call the manager up to give me my $1. And she goes, by the time you fill it out, she says, the paper's going to be here. I said, I'll take my chances. So I'm filling out the form, fill out this, for this, the reason you don't want it. The manager has to come out, she has to sign it, she has to call, she has to get in touch with the head office, she has to cancel the policy. By the time all this is all done, the paper still wasn't there. And guess what? I still don't have a newspaper. So if you know what's going on in the world today, I want you to go to